and he fell asleep on the phone with you. I don't know where your fiance was at for you to be able to fall asleep on the phone with another married man, because he's not divorced yet. And then demand that he check in with you.
This situation with Claressa Shields isn't just another messy relationship story. It feels colder, more calculated, and way more deliberate. This isn't just a scandal buzzing online. It's the kind of situation that shakes everything someone believed they were building, with one man standing right at the center of the fallout. Because this wasn't just about cheating, at least not on the surface. Allegations point to a whole double life, carefully hidden and layered with secrets. We're talking about claims of another woman, another child, and moves made so quietly that even people close to Claressa reportedly had no idea. If true, it makes other celebrity betrayals look almost amateur. And the wildest part is how people reacted.
Battle rap, everything is open for battle rap.
Is there
Gangsta gossip?
Is there a rap battle podcast? Y'all ain't never hear that?
I don't know.
While Claressa was locked in, focused on love and growth, some folks online were cracking jokes. Meanwhile, Papoose was allegedly juggling a second reality on the side, building something entirely separate while she stayed in the dark. That kind of deception can either break someone or completely transform them. People were confused from the jump. Battle podcasts? Folks saying, "I ain't never hear that," while still watching Claressa proudly step out with him. She defended him, stood beside him, and spoke about their future like it was already sealed. Trips, late-night conversations, and public support all painted a picture that looks solid. But anything that looks unbreakable can still crack. And when it does, what's underneath can be ugly. Because while Claressa believed she had found her match, sources allege he was maintaining a second life so bold it's almost shocking. Almost impressive, if it wasn't so ruthless.
So now we know Remy and Papoose as black love couples. We've been knowing that for years. Pap held Remy down while she served 6 years in prison. She ain't had nothing.
Christmases with Remy Ma, birthdays, holidays, and private moments that were never meant to reach Claressa's eyes. Then came the ultimate gut punch, with reports claiming Remy Ma is expecting and that the child is allegedly his. Not a mistake, not a side rumor, but a whole family growing quietly in the background. And this is where it turns really uncomfortable. Sources claim Claressa was allegedly covering bills, paying for trips, and supporting a lifestyle, believing she was investing in their future. But whispers, leaks, and paper trails suggest money may have been moving in ways she never agreed to. If true, that's not just heartbreak, it's alleged exploitation. This wasn't only emotional betrayal, it was trust being used like a blank check, love turned into leverage, and loyalty taken for granted. And according to reports, she didn't see it coming until the leaks dropped, messages surfaced, and rumors turned into screenshots.
Things got messy and still getting messy. More on the Remy, Pap, and Claressa trio. We reported on it yesterday, but things started to escalate. Accusations being thrown from both sides, and it's definitely messy on both sides.
Everything finally spilled into public view when Remy Ma reportedly decided to let it all out. But the mess didn't stop with just one man living two lives. The fallout got louder once the truth started leaking, and even louder when outsiders jumped in to throw gasoline on the situation instead of letting it cool down. Enter 50 Cent, someone who never misses a chance to stir the pot. He didn't stay neutral, didn't sit back and observe. Instead, he jumped straight into the comments, mocking the situation and turning Claressa's loyalty into a punchline. Her pain became internet content, and her heartbreak got flipped into a cautionary tale for laughs. The energy behind it all felt dismissive. The vibe was basically, what did you expect? Like the outcome was obvious to everyone else. As if Papoose's reputation was already written in stone, and Claressa was just the last person to connect the dots. And maybe that's true. Maybe the signs were always there. Buried under polished posts, public affection, and picture-perfect moments that made everything look solid. Love does that, though. It clouds judgment, even for people who are disciplined, focused, and strong like Claressa. She wasn't halfway invested. She was fully locked in, believing every word, every promise. Then the screenshots hit. Messages started circulating, and quiet rumors turned into full-blown chaos once there was something concrete people could point at. That's when Remy Ma allegedly took it a step further. Instead of keeping things private, she put it all on display.
I don't give a I be bored responding, needing something to do. I done worked out.
Comments about Papoose falling asleep on the phone with Claressa were shared casually, almost like a joke, as if someone else's heartbreak was just another storyline for the public to consume. But this wasn't entertainment. This was a real person's life unraveling in real time, trust shattered, emotions dragged online, and her name picked apart by strangers who suddenly felt entitled to an opinion. And Papoose didn't respond with accountability. It was deflection, finger-pointing, and posting images meant to flip the narrative. Turning the situation into a scoreboard of who did what first doesn't erase years of alleged deception. The money angle is where it really stings, though. Sources claim Claressa's finances didn't just support their relationship, but allegedly helped maintain his lifestyle across both worlds. Travel, gifts, and smooth transitions between two lives without missing a beat.
I couldn't really put it together on what possibly could be the relationship there. But yeah, Remy outside the courtroom, standing on business, and she's there, you know, she holding her son down.
And here's the cold part. He allegedly never planned to choose. One side offered fame, visibility, and financial security, while the other offered loyalty and family. From that angle, he allegedly had everything, and Claressa paid the price. Now she's left picking up pieces in public. Every post analyzed, every reaction judged. A boxing champion who dominates opponents in the ring is now facing something far colder, the court of public opinion, where there are no rules and no mercy. Leaks, comments, memes, nonstop noise. Real pain chopped up and repackaged like entertainment, because that's how scandal works. It doesn't care who gets hurt as long as people keep watching. About damage, that's the part nobody really cares about anymore. Attention is the real currency, and right now Claressa Shields' heartbreak is trending like a blockbuster rollout. Clips, posts, reactions everywhere, all feeding off a moment that's actually devastating for her. But here's what people don't want to sit with. Betrayal like this doesn't end just because a relationship ends. It lingers, it stains everything. Old photos feel fake, memories lose their warmth, and moments that once felt genuine start to feel staged after the fact. Claressa didn't just lose a partner. She lost the future she thought she was building. She lost trust in her own instincts, in the idea that loyalty still means something, that love can be safe, that promises actually hold weight.
She didn't say anything about it, but she hopped online to just apologize because it's her event. People pay money to see these rap battles and stuff like that. It's a real thing. The whole rap battle thing is like a real thing. So
now she's stuck replaying conversations, trips, and late-night talks, wondering how she missed the signs and why she trusted so deeply. Because men like Papoose, according to the allegations, don't just cheat. They manipulate situations, blur lines, and twist reality until you start questioning yourself. Love becomes leverage, and by the time the truth finally surfaces, the emotional damage is already locked in. And let's be honest here. The world isn't just watching this happen, we're part of it. Every like, every repost, every comment saying, "She should have known better," feeds the same system that thrives on public breakdowns. That machine turns private devastation into viral content. It doesn't allow space to heal because in 2026, heartbreak isn't just personal, it's profitable. Claressa's pain is the kind that trends, the kind that keeps people refreshing timelines, waiting on the next leak, the next message, the next piece of her life to drop. It's relentless, and it's far from over. Scandals like this don't just disappear, they evolve. They grow sharper, messier, and harder to escape once they've taken on a life of their own. There are still unanswered questions. Financial trails haven't fully surfaced, and legal fallout hasn't even begun. And Papoose doesn't seem like the type to quietly fade away. If anything, he's more likely to flip the narrative, position himself as misunderstood, and paint her as the problem in a story he allegedly helped create.
Police are still investigating the motive behind the shooting, though it was initially believed that a dispute may have led to the violence.
And then there's Remy Ma. This isn't just emotional for her, it's strategic. She understands the industry, the timing, and how chaos can be used as leverage. She survived things that break most people, and she knows how to move when attention is high. She's not walking away quietly, not while emotions are raw, not while eyes are watching, and not while there's still power in controlling the narrative. And finally, there's the child, an unborn baby that permanently connects Papoose and Remy Ma, a bond that can't be erased. A family forming while Claressa is left rebuilding herself from the wreckage of alleged lies.
Well, this actually happened outside of the courthouse. Remy Ma got into a courthouse altercation with the daughter of the man her son allegedly
That's what really lingers. Because no matter what happens next, that child becomes a living reminder of the life he chose and the future he was building behind her back while she was still believing in theirs. So where does that leave Claressa Shields right now? She's standing dead center in the storm. Leaks are still dropping, comments keep flooding in, and every move she makes is being watched like it's part of a live experiment. Everyone's waiting to see how she reacts, how she responds, how she survives the fallout of a love that clearly wasn't what it claimed to be. Not behind closed doors, not in private, not where it actually mattered. And the real question isn't even what hurt more, the betrayal itself, or being forced to relive it daily through headlines, memes, and hot takes from people who've never felt this level of humiliation or loss. But one thing about Claressa has never been up for debate. She's a fighter. She didn't become a champion by folding when things got uncomfortable or backing down when pressure hit hard. If history tells us anything, it's that underestimating her is dangerous. Papoose did. Remy Ma might be. And the public absolutely is.
Jason is only 23 years old, and Remy spoke to TMZ about the situation. She said, "We stand by Jason's innocence and pray that NYPD will conduct a contempt and thorough investigation." So
when Claressa comes back, and she will, it won't be emotional chaos. It'll be calculated, disciplined, and intentional. The kind of comeback that doesn't need noise because it speaks for itself. There's nothing more dangerous than a woman who's been betrayed and stripped of illusions. The Claressa standing now isn't the one who trusted blindly. It's the one who learned the hard way, stared at the ugliest parts of love and loyalty, and didn't break. And that same discipline that made her dominant in the ring is what's carrying her through this. The focus, the mental toughness, the ability to stay standing when everything is trying to knock you down. And when she survives this, it won't be quiet, it won't be gentle, it'll be remembered. For now, though, the story is still unfolding. Leaks keep surfacing, the internet keeps watching, and Claressa is still standing in the rubble of a relationship that never existed the way she believed it did, trying to rebuild while the world waits for the next chapter. Because this isn't just a breakup, it's a reckoning, and it's nowhere near finished. Just when it seemed like things couldn't get darker, the whispers started getting louder. This wasn't just one mistake. People close to the situation now claim it was a pattern, with warning signs that were always there but ignored or explained away. Love has a way of silencing instincts. Red flags get reframed, excuses get made, and gut feelings get buried under hope.
It doesn't matter if it's a celebrity or not. Exactly. If you commit a crime, you're supposed to be paid for the crime you committed.
It could be anybody. It doesn't matter. You know.
I told y'all that Remy Ma and Papoose are done.
But 50 Cent wasn't blind to it, and he wasn't about to let anyone forget it either. His commentary didn't just observe, it mocked. It framed Claressa's devotion as naive, and that wasn't just trolling. It was a reminder. In this game, trust is rare. Loyalty is risky, and charm can be nothing more than a mask. Things sharpen even more when other names start surfacing. Other women, other connections, rumors that don't point to chaos but to structure. Something organized, compartmentalized, and allegedly managed to avoid exposure. Sources claim Papoose's alleged opportunism wasn't limited to one situation. It was repeated, carefully controlled, and built around maintaining a lifestyle that didn't survive on honesty. And that's where the financial angle gets murky.
Very sad regardless. I mean, this happened in 2021. So that was what, 3 years ago?
Yep.
So the fact that they just getting the information now is crazy, but
if the whispers are true, Claressa wasn't the only one whose trust and resources were allegedly exploited. This wasn't just about love, it was about access, image, and status. That's where this story collides with culture. In 2026, scandals don't live quietly. They explode in real time across timelines and comment sections, where private pain gets stripped down and sold as spectacle. Every post Claressa makes gets dissected, every silence psychoanalyzed, every emotion debated, genuine to some, performative to others. The court of public opinion doesn't just judge, it feasts. And let's be real, some people aren't just watching, they're enjoying it. The jokes, the smug takes, the way her pain keeps getting flipped into content, it's ruthless, non-stop, and part of the tax that comes with fame in an era where privacy barely exists. But what people don't talk about enough is how this level of exposure changes you. Claressa didn't just lose a partner, she lost the version of herself that believed love always wins, that loyalty guarantees safety. Now she's rebuilding more than her life, she's rebuilding her identity. Because when the world watches you fall and replays it over and over, you don't just move on, you either evolve or you break. If the rumors are even halfway true, this wasn't just emotional manipulation, it was financial too.
So that went on for like a couple of months, and then he just told me one day that he loved me, couldn't live without me, and we've been together ever since.
Sources suggest that while Claressa Shields was locked in on her brand, her career, and her legacy, Her resources were allegedly supporting a life she wasn't even invited into. Trips she never took, gifts she never received, bills paid for realities that were never hers. That kind of betrayal doesn't just hurt your feelings, it hits your foundation. Because this isn't just about money, it's about principle. Trust didn't just get broken, it got monetized. And for someone whose value is tied to her name, her reputation, and control over her own narrative, that's not a light blow. That's the kind of damage that can take years to fully undo. And buried inside all this chaos was that quote. He told me one day that he loved me, couldn't live without me, and then we've been together ever since. That line hits different now. It shows how deep the belief really ran and how real she thought this connection was. But let's be honest, this story has more than one or two players. Remy Ma isn't just reacting emotionally, she's calculated. She knows this industry, she's survived prison, media storms, and public judgment. She knows how to move when pressure is high. The timing, the framing, the way information has been released feels intentional. That's not panic, that's strategy. And Papoose isn't just a man accused of cheating. He's a man who allegedly believed he could have everything at once. Love, money, fame, control, without ever choosing and without ever paying the price. But consequences don't rush, they wait. Then there's the unborn child, a permanent connection that can't be erased. A family allegedly forming while Claressa is left rebuilding herself from the ashes of deception. That part lingers, because no matter what happens next, that child becomes a living reminder of the future he was building behind her back.
Y'all wanna know what really gets on my nerves, that grinds my gears. Grinds them so bad. Is that when y'all think I give.
And the wild part is the world still hasn't looked away. Everyone's still watching, still waiting, still refreshing for the next leak, the next screenshot, the next confirmation that this story is much bigger than it first appeared. The whispers keep growing, the layers keep peeling, and it's starting to feel like the real truth hasn't even fully surfaced yet. But let's be clear about one thing. Claressa Shields isn't folding. She's a fighter. Fighters don't stay down. They reset, regroup, and come back smarter. While the internet replays her pain, while memes stay fresh and opinions stay loud, she's recalibrating, rebuilding, quietly preparing. Because there's something more dangerous than a woman who's hurt. It's a woman who sees clearly. And when Claressa comes back, and she will, it won't be as a victim. It'll be as someone who survived betrayal at the deepest level and refused to let it define her. That's when the real shift happens. What we're watching right now is just the opening act. The leaks aren't finished, the players are still positioning, and the truth is still out there waiting to land hard. So the real question isn't whether this heartbreak ends her story, it's whether this moment creates something even bigger. Because this is far from over.